Hello, I'm Argadeep Paul, 20C 30007 from section 19. This is my week 4 DIY project. Today I'll be disassembling and assembling this laptop which is not working. Um, now this is a Lenovo G500S. It's really old, and then this laptop, as we can see, won't boot up. Wait, let me just show it to you. Yeah, so as when I'm pressing this power button, it won't start up, and as we can see, there are signs of physical damage on it. So as we can see, the back panel is almost opening up from the rest of the laptop, which shouldn't be the case. Also, it's cracked from between. It's in a pretty bad state. This is very old, bear that in mind. So so we'll try to repair it and see what's wrong. This model is discontinued, so parts for it are no longer available. I mean, even if they are, they're unreasonably expensive. So this is the battery, which these days these batteries are like connected to the laptop in a way in which they cannot be detached from the rest of it. So I've removed the screws from the back panel already. There weren't many to begin with because most of them have been lost. So yeah, this is the inside of a laptop. Yeah, so we'll look for signs of physical damage on it and see even parts are breaking off right now. This is very old. Yeah, so as we can see, this is the motherboard. So there aren't any signs of physical damage on this part, so it should be running, but it's not. Also, I've checked the adapter with a multimeter and it was working correctly. It has a rating of 19.5 volts and it was delivering that. So yeah, so these are the parts. This is the CPU. This is visible, yeah. So this is the CPU. This covered in black is the GPU. So these are the heat pipes which run from the heat pipes to the heat sink, and then this fan dissipates the heat from the heat sink. So this is the network interface card. This runs to the monitor panel and works as the antenna. This black wire is the power wire of this. This is the RAM module. This green thing. This is the hard disk. This actually had a 1 TB hard disk, but I swapped it out and switched it to a different laptop for better performance, because that had a 500 GB one and the rest of the laptop was working. Also, modern day laptops have like SSDs which are way more faster, but back then there weren't any. This is also a part of the GPU. This is the actual main part, which actually the core of the GPU basically. Here is it visible, this thing. So let's turn it up and then we'll see if there are problems on the other side. So I'll try opening this keyboard panel. Ideally we should use a guitar pick, but this keyboard is kind of broken and loose already. So we'll just slide it right up and it will open up. So when we open the keyboard, we don't just pull it off because parts of it are still connected. Here you see a connector, so we'll have to open it. We slide it out. So the keyboard was in working condition, and these are the connectors which run from the touchpad and connected to the motherboard for the feed. However, we notice that the power line running from the power button to the motherboard is broken. It's actually a piece of it is wedged in there. I don't know if it's visible, but it cannot be pulled out. Also, these connectors are very old, and the laptop is discontinued, so this specific connector would be really hard to find, so we never bothered to have it repaired. So I'll just close it up and show you the different parts of it. So this laptop also had an optical drive. I'll open it up for you. I'm using the screwdriver set, the Taparia screwdriver set, to open everything up. So this is the optical drive. It wasn't working, it wasn't really working anyways, even when the laptop was working fine. Yeah, so I'll open the hard disk case as well. Earlier I could have opened up the heatsink and the heat pipes as well, but then it's very hard because parts of it have stuck onto this CPU case. And a good thing about this CPU is it can be removed, unlike laptops which have been developed recently. Nowadays, the CPUs and GPUs are soldered onto the motherboard, so in case something goes wrong, people actually have to replace the whole motherboard. For, like, you cannot just replace the CPU and expect everything to get okay, because it cannot be removed. Wow, I lost the screw there. Fine, I found it. Yeah, so this is the hard disk case, and wait, I don't think it's necessary, but you can open up this hard disk. It's a 2.5-inch HDD, so we can open it up and then I replace it with a new one. This is connected by the SATA interface. However, it's a little different from the one used on the PC, on desktops, in the sense that they have flexible connectors, and the connector for this is fixed onto the motherboard, so it can't be moved. Yeah, so that's the I'll try opening this fan as well. Drop the screw, I guess. Yeah, I got it. This connector is wedged in there. Wait, is it a fixed connector? No, it's not. Yeah, so this is the fan. These are the vents. Like, I don't know if it's visible, but these are the heat fins. As you can see, some dust is trapped in there. So the fan pushes the air, like cold air, through these heat fins. These heat fins collect the heat from the CPU and the GPU, which are like the major heat producing parts of the laptop, and then push it out of the laptop. So this was this laptop. There isn't really a lot that can be used here. However, there are a few things which can be harvested of this laptop. For example, this network interface card, it was working fine. Also, the CPU and the GPU can be harvested, but then nobody would want to do that because these are very old CPU. This is a third generation Intel i3 3110M, and this GPU is NVIDIA 720M, GT 720M, which is not even useful these days. So basically, this is, however, another working laptop from the same generation. It's the Dell Vostro. It works pretty fine, and the only thing we can harvest of this old laptop onto this new one is the RAM module, because also the thing about RAMs is, even though these are both DDR3L RAMs, you cannot use a 1666 megahertz RAM with a 2133, because then both the RAMs would be clocked to the lower frequency, and their frequencies will be matched, and then it will be run. Also, okay. So this is the laptop which doesn't work. So this is how I'll take out the RAM from here. We'll push out the pins, slide out the RAM. This is the RAM. Yeah, and then we'll put it right in there. And these are both slow 1666 megahertz probably, or 1800, I'm not too sure, but then there are the same. I checked it before, and this had a sticker on it which said the memory frequency, but I've ripped it off. So this laptop previously had a 4 GB RAM, and now I've added the 2 GB stick as well. So now it will run at 6. It will have 6 GBs of RAM. And this laptop is working. You can see the heatsink, but a lot of it is hidden, and which is also a reason why this is more durable than this laptop. Also, this laptop has an i5 instead of an i3. Now remember, I told you like the CPUs in these generations could be swapped out. So I could ideally have removed the i5 from this and put the i3 from this from the older laptop into this, but the i5 performed better, so I'd never bothered to do it. Also, I've kept the i5 in there, so in case something goes wrong someday, I'll pull out the i3 from here and put the i5 put it in here, and I'll just throw away the i5, I guess. So this laptop will run again, and in fact these are like from the same families as well, this CPU and this CPU, the i5 and the i3. This is a 3230M, but it's better than the i3, so I didn't do it. Also, if I just wanted for fun, if I would have done it, to be fair. I'd swap the i5 and i3 just for fun, but then I don't have a thermal paste at home. So even if the heatsink wouldn't really fit properly into the heat pipes wouldn't stick properly to the CPU case, and then the heat won't get dissipated properly, and that would create a problem. The good thing about this is this laptop still runs, so I'll just boot it and show you that the 6 GBs of RAM, now it's accepting 6 GBs of RAM. It'll be a little faster, but don't expect too much, because this laptop is very old. Wait. I guess I'll just reassemble the older one, and I'll just let this laptop boot, and I'll show you that now it's 6 GBs of RAM. It's running, as you can see. So we managed to harvest some working parts of the old laptop and help this barely working laptop to run better. I'll keep it aside for a while. So I'll just reassemble this older laptop now. Even there's not much of a point doing it. I'll just put this in. And screw it in place. I need a torch. This is very dark. Yes. That made things better. I'll just fix it in. So basically this laptop, even though it doesn't work anymore, I'll just keep it, so in case something goes wrong with the laptop which is working, I could literally swap out any part I want from this. There are tons of usable parts. For example, this won't fit into the case of the newer laptop. This network card would fit in, it will work. The fans can be used. I have to check if it fits though. The hard disk would fit in for sure, and that I can assure you, and the CPU, with even though I had to like probably flash the BIOS, because on the newer laptop, on the one that works this will go right in. The hard disk here. Drop it in and slide it inside. I missed a screw in the fan. I'll put it in now. Yes. It's slightly harder to reach. I'll try anyways. I put the wrong screw in there. Oh. The CD drive, I'll put it in. So almost all the screws. The last screw is left. Oh wait, I guess. Where does it go in? Oh, I think I've misplaced some screws. Oh no, is the right one? Yeah, so all the screws are back in place. I'll put the battery back. Even the battery was in a bad state even when this was working. This was actually a model from 2012, which is almost 9 years back. I hope nothing falls off. I put the keyboard back in place. Lenovo probably still uses the same connectors for the keyboards, so I guess this will come to use someday. We have another Lenovo laptops in home as well. I'll just put it back in. fixed in place now. Yeah, it's fixed in place. But anyways, this laptop isn't of much use. Turn off the flashlight on this one. By the way, the new laptop, the one we did out the parts for, this one. I'll just, yeah, so we've switched the RAM on this. I'll just take out my phone. So as you can see, this laptop is now working. Even this is not too quick. So this is booted up. You see the state of this isn't quite nice anyways, but yeah, we'll just yeah, so I told you this laptop earlier had a 4 GB of RAM, and we took a 2 GB stick from that laptop, so now it has a total of 6 GB DDR3 RAM. DDR3 is really old nowadays. They probably use DDR4 or DDR4. I guess I got DDR4 on one of my other laptops, and this one is really old. It runs on 1600 megahertz. The newer ones, my other laptop runs at 3200 megahertz. So yeah, this is old, but anyways, we can see that it is accepted 2 GB DDR3. So that RAM module was working indeed. Yeah, so I harvested. I used a decent laptop which wasn't working. Later, if in case the CPU goes wrong, I can take out the CPU. Also, you can see this is a 3210M. And that laptop had a i3 3110M. They're of the same generation, the same family, and unlike the newer laptops, they can be swapped out of the motherboard in case something goes wrong. Yeah. So that's it. That was my video for DIY assignment. Thank you.